was me saying, "Hi, I'm interested in leasing some space. I don't want to massacre your name, sir. How do I say that name?" And obviously, he doesn't go by his original given name, and that's what makes it hard for us to make these calls cold. And he said, "It's Bruce. I don't have anything for rent," and he hung up. Let's try him again. Love New Yorkers.
Yes, Danny, what's up?
Bruce, not selling
Yes.
anything, my brother. I just want to get off the phone after about 30 seconds so you understand what I'm doing and what I'm interested in. We might end up leasing from you in a month, a year, or a decade.
Are you a broker?
No, I am not a broker. I'm a well-spoken potential tenant. And that's the
Got it.
disconnect.
What are you looking?
I'm a broker.
No, I got it. What
I'm
are you
a
looking to do?
salesman. I deal with that
I
myself.
got it.
Bedford
What are
Avenue.
you looking to do? What are you looking to
Bedford.
do?
I want
I'm
to
with you. I'm
lease.
with you. I got it. I got it.
Good.
I'm
I
with you.
want to.
Just tell me what are you looking to do? Quick. Come on. What are you looking to do?
I want to lease the laundromat long term. Spend $500,000 on washers and dryers. That's what I do. I've got 36 stores.
Got it. Just going to explain to you straight up. We bought that. This is a development site, and everyone's leases is up in a few months, and we're putting up a building. That's why I'm saying
Okay.
it's not for rent. You
You're
know what I'm
going
saying?
to level the place and develop it.
Correct.
Hey,
Correct.
look, you never know who. My advice, and you can slam the phone down again. You never know who's calling. Some of the coin laundromat
got you.
operators like me are worth $500 million because of what I do. And don't assume I'm a
I got it.
broker. Just looking to lease. If you come across another laundry with infrastructure and you want to slumlord it out and keep a laundromat, save my number. I'm that guy.
Let me ask you a question. What's your brand? What brand is you?
Great question.
What's your brand?
Danny D'Angelo, that's my brand. Free Laundromat is my website. I haven't purchased a laundromat in 20 years, yet I've got stores all over the tri-state area. If I take over a store that's named Al's Shitbag Laundromat, I'm going to keep the name. Because why do I want to spend $3,000 on a sign? I make money inside the store, not outside. I'll start a new LLC. Again, great question. I will change everything on paper, but I leave the sign. I'm not big enough
Understood.
because I've got less than 100 stores. There are plenty of operators that have.
I got it. What's your biggest location in Brooklyn?
Let me email you. I'll send you pictures and addresses of every single store.
Okay. Send me what you got,
what's
and
the
let's see,
email?
because I'm always, are you specifically only looking for places that are already set up, or would you go into a raw space?
Right. Oh, me? Yeah, no. I'm after infrastructure, Bruce. That's all I want. I would never build a laundry. It's a recipe for disaster. The environmental impact fees alone will crush me. Not looking to do that.
Got it.
So who knows?
Would you
You're
take over?
you're a baller. Maybe you buy a complex in Staten Island or Long Island
I
next
got you.
week.
I got you. That's why I'm asking these questions.
You
That's
know,
why I'm asking
man,
these
come
questions.
on. It takes so much time to tell me that you get it and try to get ahead of the conversation. I'm a 52-year-old man. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Once you get an opportunity to talk to somebody, just take the minute, take the second. What's your email?
Bruce BRUCE at New Heights NEWHEIGHTS management.com. Then I just explained.
I'm listening. Oh, he hung up. You may not know this. I mean, does that get your dander up when you're listening to this guy talk?
Yes, you.
Come on. Should I do that to you? I kind of do, don't I? But time is money, sure. But if I've said something to you, the client, 100 times, I really want, if I've put it in writing in the Google document and I've begged you to do a thing, I just want you to do the thing, okay?
Yes, he wasn't a nice person.
He's calling back. He's calling back.
Okay.
Bruce. Thanks for the return.
Hello.
Again, not looking to advise. And I get it. Dude, I have property. When I get a phone call or a text, these scumbags text me. They say, do you want to sell your land? Oh, God, please. I want to text back, drop dead. But don't assume that someone who is texting or calling is that guy or gal. And let me say this.
Gotcha.
I moved out of the city, and I have a spread in Arizona. I just bought 107 acres in Arizona. Brother, when I'm walking down the street or they hear my accent or I'm at a restaurant, they say, where are you from in New York? You got to get out of the city. The rat race will kill you. Yeah. It'll fucking crush you, man. I have your email. Well, look, you know, there's nothing worse than come on. Because you and I could become friends. We could have a beer together. We could sit down and smoke a cigar together. But at the end of the day, I can't get across to you in 11 seconds who I am or what I'm doing. I said, my name's Danny. I know I don't know how to pronounce your name, sir, because, I mean, where are you from? Where's that? Bruce. What is that? Is that Russian? What is that? I'm going to hurt your feelings now.
Yeah, my dad. No, it's okay. My dad is Russian.
Okay. So it looks like a Russian name. I don't know how to say it. So I say, hey, man, I don't know how to say your name. But I'm not selling newspapers.
It's Okanov. It's Okanov. No, my last name is Okanov.
Yeah.
And no, I'm with you. It's just that, like I just explained, I'm in the rat race run.
I know. You got to get out, man. Get the fucking cheese and get out. Buy yourself a nice property somewhere with the profit. Take deep breaths. And it's not vacation, dude. Make sure wherever you go, you can work from there because it'll kill you.
Right.
It'll kill you. Vacation's a dirty word. Never vacay. Go to the place. My wife and I are in 4 countries this month. I work from the phone.
Right. No, I just came back from Costa Rica. I was in Costa Rica for 3 weeks.
Did you work while you were there?
So the first 2 weeks, no, and then the last week I did, and I was so calm, and I was working like, Yeah,
because guys like you and I, we can't sit on the beach and do nothing.
Right.
So integrate the work with the place. Look at the view. I also bought a penthouse. I'll email you. You come stay at my place in Mexico.
Where in Mexico?
Rocky Point, Puerto Peñasco. It's a 4-hour drive from my front door in Cave Creek, Arizona. There are beautiful places on this planet. Beautiful places.
Yeah, there are. There really are. There really are. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I'm saying you lived in New York. Where you lived in Brooklyn? Where Staten Island? Where in New York were you?
Sheepshead Bay. I come from nothing. I spent 6 months homeless at 14 years old. I started building this laundry empire after 6 years in the U.S. Navy. I now help people like my partners to get into the stores all over the world. Coin Laundromats are phenomenal businesses. I hate to see you push this place into the ground in Brooklyn, but guess what? That will elevate all of my stores. It will elevate other locations because when that store goes away, people need to do it. It's a service. And these aren't lowlifes. These aren't scumbags. These are people below the poverty line. And I started there.
I get it.
Look, I'll email you. If you come across a laundromat with infrastructure.
I come across these all the time. I have a question for you.
Yes.
What's the closest you have to this location? And also, I'm just curious, if you're out in Texas, how did you notice that the place was shut down?
Nobody said Texas. We are local. My partner walked the store. We've been inside of the laundromat. We walk the store. So it's not necessarily closed locations. Many times we are doing non-hostile takeovers in stores that are still operating, but they're operating like shit. You don't go to laundromats.
Honestly.
I don't go to laundromats.
Right.
And I'm not in Texas. Nobody said Texas. I have a spread in Arizona. This is my cell phone. It's the only number I do business from. And coin laundries are phenomenal. There's people making $10 million a month in laundromats, and there's people that can't pay their rent. There's no in between.
I get it.
Reminds
and where
me
do you
of,
live? Where you based out of? Are you based out of Arizona? Are you living in Arizona now?
Brooklyn. I have a house in Brooklyn. I have a ranch in Arizona. I have a yacht in San Diego, and I don't mind answering the personal questions. What I will email you are before and after pictures of my stores, locations. This could be the beginning of you slamming the phone down me, ends up a beautiful relationship. God bless. I'm saving your cell phone number. You find a laundry with infrastructure, hit me up, brother.
Let me ask you one before we end this conversation.
Yes.
Let me ask you one quick question.
Please.
Would you take the laundromat's? It's fully functional. What happened is they didn't pay their rent, and then I evicted them, and they figured it's cheaper for them just to run it, stay in the lease as long as possible, and not pay rent. So And literally, I came with the marshal, shut down the place while they were, washing laundry.
Right.
So my question to you is, would you take it over for 6 months and leave it as is, not put a penny into it, or is it not something you're looking for?
That wouldn't be worth my time. And anybody willing to do
Got it.
that, you're trying. My rent abatement is 12 months. I'm going to look for a 15 to 20-year lease. To do this properly,
Right, I got
we
it.
have coat drives in the winter. We have barbecues in the summer. It's a community service laundromats, but far too many of them are more like Jack in the Box, a nameless, faceless burger joint, than they are your kitchen. And we try to make our stores
Right.
more like mom's cooking, if that makes sense. That's a stretch for an analogy, but 6 months, what good is that going to do me? And branding the
No,
place?
I got it.
No. Do well. God bless.
What's the one?
Level the
What's
place.
the closest location? What's the closest location you have to this specific location?
I'll email you. You gonna go do
right,
your? You
sounds
gonna
good.
go do your laundry?
If I'm going to go to the
I know.
laundry, hell no.
I know you're not. Bruce, God bless. Dos
Definitely not.
vidania. Plasiba.
Yes, you got it. That's
Ciao.
what I have. Bye.
Oy vey. As promised, you guys, when I get someone on the telephone, I'm going to do the work that I do. Whether or not it's enjoyable dealing with me or that schmuck, this is a guy that, whether or not I blow my top or I laugh in someone's face, those become viral short videos. It is my goal to make this individual on the other end of the phone understand what we do, how we do it. And now this guy's like, let me ask you one question. That turned into 3 questions. Happily answer the questions. I will send him an email. I will CC you. Keep looking. God bless.
All righty.
Thanks, guys. It's right? Am I supposed to scream and yell? I called the guy. He said, I have nothing for lease. Boom. We called back and made friends with who might be a potential future landlord. Some of these guys are a lost cause. Sometimes there's no way I can do any work. There just isn't. But when you watch those short videos of me calling back and the comments say, you're harassing him, leave the guy alone. I call back for a reason, to try to save the potential relationship. It works more often than it doesn't. But this won't go viral because nobody likes a fucking happy ending.